What's good? What's good? This your boy AWOL612, Aaron Edwards from Minneapolis to Dallas, from the Midwest back to the West Coast. That's me. Um, Here to talk about Minnesota high school basketball team must-watch list. So I'm going to run off about 10 teams that are must-watch for Minnesota high school basketball during this 2018 season. I'm going to start with the defending state champions, Apple Valley. There are the 4A defending state champions led by Trey Jones. Trey Jones is a very special player. Younger brother of Tyus Jones, Duke national champion and current Minnesota Timberwolf. Trey Jones is Tyus Jones 2.0. A much more dynamic athlete, and also has a lot more pressure on him in a way because he has to follow the footsteps of his brother. Last year's state champion, he did not have much of a cast around him, and he won a state championship for Apple Valley. During the regular season, Apple Valley lost twice, I believe, and that was to Cretin, Derham Hall, and to Champlin Park. Trey Jones would lead Apple Valley to wins over both those teams during the state tournament. So the two teams that he actually lost to in the regular season, he defeated during the state championship run, beating them, and that is amazing alone in itself. You figure if a team's more talented than you, then they probably going to beat you again, but that's what kind of player Trey Jones is that if you play him twice, he's going to beat you the second time. So yes, Apple Valley is a must-watch. Trey Jones is a dynamic player, mentally and physically. His mental aptitude, the way he approaches the game, is very unique, and very few prospects, regardless of class, whether they're in high school or in college, view the game and play the game in the way that Trey Jones does. Physically, end to end, he's an elite defender. Some of the stuff I saw him do to older prospects over the last 2 years, he started 2 years in EYBL, and he embarrassed some guys defensively. So yes, Apple Valley is a must-watch for Minnesota high school basketball. Secondly, I'll be talking about De La Salle, 5-time defending state champions out of Minnesota, out of the metro area, downtown Minneapolis, led by Gabe Kolscher, one of the top shooters. Definitely one of the top shooters here in Minnesota. He just gets buckets. Gabe Kolscher is very talented, committed to the Golden Gophers. Also, Tyrell Terry. Tyrell Terry is the top point guard prospect out of Minnesota's 2019 class. Tyrell Terry's story last year was kind of amazing because I'm not sure if they knew what they had. He went to De La Salle, and I think they tried to put him on freshman at first, and he just destroyed them. And then he went to JV and ripped off a couple of 30, 40-point games on JV. And by the end of the season, he started for De La Salle in the state championship game, winning. So Tyrell Terry's a very special story from last year, going from basically freshman to JV to starting on varsity in the state championship game. They also have a host of role players. Transferring in from Benil St. Margaret is James Battle, a wing forward, one of the top wing forwards out of Minnesota's 2019 class, along with Malik Hurt, who holds down, Malik Lamin, who holds down the middle for them, one of the top post prospects from Minnesota's 2019 class, along with Raekwon Moore, CJ Dixon, Julian Wright, Drew Irvin, Jonas Travis. They just have a plethora of role players and talent coming off that bench for the 3-time state champion, 5-time defending 3A state champion De La Salle. They're definitely a must-watch and are most likely going to make another run at the 3A state champion this year. Next, we'll talk about Minnehaha Academy, the Red Hawks, led by Jalen Suggs. Coach Lance Johnson just basically has an embarrassment of riches. Not only is Jalen Suggs there, but Terry Lockett and Caden Johnson, who both in their own rights are studs. If Jalen Suggs wasn't there, that still would be a very good team. Terry Lockett, to me, is the best pure point guard in Minnesota's 2020 class. He didn't play a lot last summer because he got dinged up and so you didn't see him a lot. But he is definitely a must-watch, and one of the reasons why that program is so talented. Also, they have one of the top ninth graders, Czech Hologram, Czech Hologram, I believe his name is. He's like 6'6", 6'7", power forward for Minnehaha Academy. They also have a pair of two of the top eighth graders. Well, Donovan Smith is a good player, but Prince, I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name, Prince Alabi, is one of the top wing forward prospects in the class nationally. They've proven themselves on the national stage. This guy is a stud. In his second year of playing varsity for them, Prince is a force to be reckoned with, and definitely the future of the Red Hawks program. Defending two-time 1A state champion, Minneapolis North is who I'll be talking about next. Coach Larry McKenzie has also an embarrassment of riches at the Minneapolis North program, led by fifth-year starter Odell Wilson. Odell Wilson is your prototype big man. He's not 6'10", he's probably around 6'6", but he is a dominant post force in the inside, taking care of all the business in there, getting your rebounds, getting your easy buckets. They also have Taylor Johnson, younger brother of Tyler Johnson, University of Minnesota Gophers football commit, who's a very, very good athlete, kind of a combo guard, prospect wing, can make plays, defends at a high level. Also a pair of one of the top pairs of guards at the 2019 class, Nazir Alameen and Eli Campbell. And then Omar Brown, one of the best wing defenders in the class, makes up for their 2019 class. And last but not least, Trajan Holloman, who is the top guard prospect out of Minnesota's 2022 class and one of the top 2022 prospects in the class nationally, who's also playing his second year of varsity as an eighth grader. So that Minneapolis North program is definitely primed to make another run at a state championship, except for this year they'll have to face Minnehaha Academy because they got moved up from 1A to 2A. So that's your 4 defending state champions that you should be watching out for. Next, I'll start off talking about some of the programs that didn't win a state championship but still are must-watch with a great deal of talent. First on that list would be Hopkins. Hopkins is led by senior point guard Anthony Davis, who probably a pretty underrated prospect at this point. He leads that team along with big man Zeke Nanaji and other big. They have Joe Hestrom, who's a talented big, and then they have another big. What is his name? Dane. I'm not sure what Dane's last name is, but let's I'm not even going to bother to look it up. But no, they're a very talented team. They also have a pair of the top, probably the top. Well, it's hard to say because Minnehaha Academy has a very talented guard group, but Kerwin Walton and Blazin Bucamp are also on this Hopkins team, a pair of 2020 guards who are very talented and make Hopkins a threat for future years to come because of the roles that they're playing now. So yes, Hopkins is a must-watch. They're a very talented team and have a chance to make a run for the state championship every year. Next team on this list I'll be talking about will be Park Center. Park Center is loaded. Very few programs have the amount of depth and talent that they have. They probably will get better every year for the next at least 2 years. Led by Jarius Cook, who is one of the state's top shooters, a talented shooting guard committed to North Dakota, who leads that team. Also with Dane Deneja, one of the top 2020 power forward prospect out of Minnesota. They also have a talented cast surrounding them with guys like Emmanuel Tamba, Tommy Chapman, and a host of other young prospects like D.T. Fyerson, Amir Whitlock. They're just loaded. They're just loaded. They have a ton of talent over there. And Park Center is just a must-watch if you want to see good high school basketball in Minnesota. Next team is East Ridge. East Ridge is a very, very talented program led by junior wing forward Courtney Brown. Courtney Brown is a freak athlete, very skilled, can shoot it, can attack off the rim. He's going to probably be their leading scorer until he's out of there. His younger brother, Kendall Brown, who's the top 2021 prospect out of Minnesota, very skilled, 6'5", combo guard, can get to the rim. A little too nice to other guys out here, but still very skilled. He probably could dog a lot more guys than he does. Ben Carlson, who is arguably the top post prospect for Minnesota's 2020 class. It's kind of a toss-up between him and Dane. Dane's a little more skilled on the perimeter, while Ben Carlson is a little more aggressive of a post player. So that three-headed monster with the Brown brothers and Ben Carlson. Also, they have some skilled shooters and Zach Zabowski and some other players off the bench. East Ridge also has a very talented 2022 prospect in Kendall Blue. Kendall Blue is he's up there. He's definitely one of the top 2022s in Minnesota. But not only that, but nationally recognized as one of the top wing forward prospects in the nation's 2020 class. So Minnesota's 2022 class is having an early impact on a lot of these top programs. So East Ridge is definitely a program to watch out for. Cretin Derham Hall, arguably the most talented team with their starting five in Minnesota. Daniel Orturu is the state's premier post defender. He is the best post defender in the state and considered one of the best shot blockers and post defenders in the class nationally. He's the University of Minnesota Gopher commit, also with fellow seniors Cy Chapman, who is a very versatile and skilled wing forward who probably should have had stayed in his grade. He's the age of a junior, but now is a senior who has a lot of upside. One of the most complete and skilled point guards in the class, Ryan Larson, who's a elite shooter and playmaker, holds it down for them at the lead guard. And also with Jaden King, one of the most skilled shooters regardless of class, and definitely one of the top shooters in the 2019 class. Cretin Derham Hall is a force to be reckoned with. Also with Jacob Prince, one of the most versatile wing guards in the class, an elite defender who turns defense to offense and is a definite glue player for them. And also one of the top wing 2020 prospects, Amari Carter, who comes off the bench for Cretin Derham Hall. So Cretin Derham Hall is a very talented program that is a must-watch for Minnesota high school basketball. Next would be Eden Prairie. Eden Prairie has a very talented team led by a young cast and point guard, Drake Dobbs, forwards, Austin Andrews, and Connor Christensen. This young nucleus for Eden Prairie will definitely lead them as they face a very tough conference in the Lake Conference with Wayzata, Minnetonka, Hopkins, Eden Prairie, and Edina. So Eden Prairie is definitely a must-watch if you want to see some young, talented players coming out of Minnesota. Next would be Prior Lake. A lot of people are not talking about Prior Lake, but Prior Lake has a really good nucleus with big man Robert Jones in the middle, protecting the middle for them. One of the top 2019 post prospects. Dawson Garcia, one of the top 2020s in the Midwest, and also one of the top 2020s in Minnesota. Definitely one of the top 2020s in Minnesota. It's still to be discovered. There's just a lot of talent in Minnesota's 2020 and Minnesota's 2022 class, which you'll hear through this. So, definitely have to watch out for Prior Lake. And then last but not least on the Prior Lake team, Sam Niasen. Now, a lot of people are asleep on him, but if you saw him play, he's a very complete and very skilled guard. He can shoot, he can play make, he hustles. So definitely Prior Lake is a team to watch out for as the season goes on. So anyway, that's the 10 teams I think you should check out for Minnesota high school basketball this season. It's your boy AWOL612, views from AWOL612.